Hello there, this is Carl at Drake Detailing, hope you're well. As promised, here's the video of the bike detail. I ended up using my own bike because I tried it on a customer's bike. It was just taking too long with camera angles and stuff, so I've done it on my own bike. Took me time, basically took me all day to film it. I was quite surprised. I think the video is about 8 minutes, even though it took me sort of 6 hours to do it, but hey ho. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe. The next video will be about brake maintenance, changing pads out and cleaning calipers, stuff like that. So hope you enjoy it. Thanks a lot. Here we come. So here we go. The bike's all set up in the stand. We've got 3 buckets. We've got one with soap suds, one with clean water, and a third bucket with soap suds as well to do the wheels and tyres. As per usual, we're using the pre-soaked cloth over the screen so we can lift off any bugs without putting chemicals, etc. all over the screen. When it comes to rinsing it, the bugs just fall off. You haven't got to blast all that muck into the screen and end up scratching it. We're going to be using a pre-rinse and a snow foam. And what I like to do is have the snow foam mixed with warm water. And that way you just get a nice thick suds. Goes on a lot better, hangs around for a lot longer. And then eventually falls off the bike, taking all the dirt with it. We're using some G101 APC, all-purpose cleaner. That'll just soak in, help all the muck lift off, gets off light grease. And then we're going to go over it with a good layer of snow foam. On a bike, you don't really have to avoid anything other than the controls. Like I say, you can get it right in there. This is a pH neutral foam, so wherever it touches, it's not going to do any harm. I've done this on literally 100 bikes now. You literally get it right in there. Avoid the main controls, because if you fill them up with water, you just got to sort of spend your time cleaning them out later on, so there's no point doing that. There you go. And then we're just going to let that dwell for a little while. And then we're going to come back to it about 10 minutes or so and start detailing it with a small brush. The small brushes are very, very soft, so you're not going to do any damage to the paintwork or scratch anything. I tend to just aim for the areas like the controls, places where I've not put a lot of product, but I want to work a product into it without slowing it. Give the seat a good clean. All the plastics. End up using about 5 or 6 different brushes. There we're rinsing it. Give it a good rinse. Again, avoid the controls. I'm going to take the box off, give that a rinse out underneath. Make sure all the muck's gone. And then we're going to start the wheels. On the tyres themselves, I use an APC. Squirt it all over. And then I go at it with a scrubbing brush. It takes a while doing like this, but you get a really nice finish. Again, you can go a little bit closer to a tyre with the water to get all the muck off. Like I say, when it comes to bearings and stuff like that, you really do need to try and avoid it with a pressure washer. But as long as you're sort of a foot and a half away, 2 foot away from the item you're washing, you're not going to have any problems. It's just the same pressure as rain. When we've done this, we're going to move to the front. Same process. I'm going to get my glamorous assistant to lift the back end down for me. And carry on from there. And then we're just going to get the microfiber mitt, get all in there, all in the brakes, all in the wheels. Really time consuming to do this properly. We use the mitt and also a microfiber brush, and that way we can get right in all the little nooks and crannies. The way I look at it, if your fingers ain't battered after this, you've not cleaned your bike properly, so happy days. It probably takes about 10 minutes, 10 minutes a wheel. Then we're going to turn the pressure down, just give it a good rinse over. And then we're washing, twisted knit microfiber mitt. Working from panel to panel. Each time we change panels, we'll be dipping it in the rinse bucket and then going back into the soaps. All the while you want to be looking at the bike, see if there's anything else hard crusty bits or whatever, something what needs pre-soaking, needs a bit more soaking. In this case, the bike was fairly clean to start with, so I'm not too fussed really. It's just a matter of rinsing the worst of the grit and muck off what's left after the snow foam and the pre-rinse. Really important to use that 2 bucket. You'll see at the end when I empty the buckets, the rinse bucket is really saturated in dirt in the bottom, even though the bike was what I'd call clean. Surprisingly how much little silt and bits and bobs live at the bottom. We're just using some nice soft plastic brushes to get in all the little nooks and crannies. These are worth their weight in gold, these little tools. You really get everywhere with these. Nice and soft, but still a stiff brush, so you do get good agitation. We need a bit more APC on the back of the foot pegs. It's just a little bit of grime in there, but any little details, all the controls, foot pegs, etc. They just need that little bit more attention, because you'll find you won't be getting in there very well with the mitt. A little bit around the shock. There's always a little bit of grime all around the top of the shock and around the bolt heads and stuff like that, but easy to sort with a brush, a bit of APC. And then rinse it all off again. Pretty much all the way through a bike wash, you'll be rinsing it and rinsing it. So it's coming off the stand now for drying. And we're going to give it a good blow off. And then a final detail dry. And then we're going to start taking a few panels off to clean the exhaust and clean the surrounding areas, sample the engine, etc. You could do this beforehand, but it's almost impossible to stop the pressure washer bouncing dirt all over the bike if you do it from underneath. So I like to do this as a second stage. My exhaust is mild steel with part stainless steel on the back. So the front part of it, I'll just use steam and some APC to clean it. Polish the front pipes. Give all the insides and outside of all the panels a good clean. See, when you think your bike's clean, there's still a little grunge underneath. We're just going to clean up the nuts and bolts and we put it all back on. A little bit of polish and just run the drill round. It's the quickest way to do nuts and bolts off the bike. All day we were pestered by wind, so I apologise for the quality of the sound, but I think you get the gist. Then we're just cleaning everything down as we put it back together. There we go. And then we're going to do some bike protectant on the inner electrics, plastics. Try not to get this on the paintwork. This is dull paintwork, so you don't want anything like that on the paintwork. Just starting the bike up, making sure everything's running properly. The can itself is a semi-shiny stainless steel, so we're just going to give that a quick whiz over, get rid of any watermarks or fingerprints. And then a quick bit of bike protectant over everything, apart from the panels. All underneath in the forks, up the stanchions, etc. And also do the wheels as well. Tiny little bit of spray on the cloth and just work it in there. Cleaning sort of last dirt, etc. what you can find. Like I say, this is a detail. This is not just a quick clean. This is what I do sort of once or twice a year on my own bike. So every little nook and cranny needs the cleaning. And we're just going to give the screen a quick polish. It's not too bad. There's just a few little scratches from road stones, etc. But it won't take many minutes to sort them out. So if this is a customer's bike, I'd obviously be sealing the wheels as well as the panels. I know I've ceramic coated the wheels, so just going to crack on and just seal the panels and the tins. Some of you may have noticed I didn't do the chain. This is because I did this in a previous video, so I didn't think it was worthwhile showing that. Also, I would have gone on and done the brakes, stripped the pads out, cleaned the calipers, but that'll be a separate video. So, I hope you enjoyed watching this. Catch you all later. Please subscribe. Have a good one.